Okay, good morning, everyone. Uh, last, uh, can you see the board? Okay. Okay, last day we did up to part C. Remember here? Uh, this is the part C. Here it says we have to find the probability of x values that are greater than or equals to 1. So this is the one. Normally, if it's this, you have to think what are the possible x values we have. Here x should be greater than or equals to 1. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why it's 5? Because we have values up to 5, okay? So if you want, you can add the x is equals to 1, then the probability is 0.15, then uh, 5, okay. Then next value is this, then next one, this one. So you have to add these all 5 probability values. Then you can get 0.87. Also, the other way is, the total is 1. You can do is 1 minus rest. We want to pick these 5 x values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then corresponding probability values, but we can do the complement thing. That means 1 minus the probability of x is equals to 0 is 0.13. So you can subtract only that value. Then you can get the same answer. Okay, got it? So if you have something like this, do this way. So it's easy. Okay, then next one. Okay, we have another 3. Okay, then D, part D. Okay, tell me what is the question. The probability of x value is greater than 3. So what are the possible x values? Huh? Yeah, 4 and 5. D, the question, the probability of x is greater than 3. So the possible x values are, x can be what? 4 or 5. So we want to consider about this probability and this one, 4 and 5. So here the probability of x is equals to 4 is 0.15. Then probability of x is equals to 5 is 0.02. So the answer is 0.17. Then next one, part E, the question is probability of x values in between 2 and 5, but here we have equal mark. Okay, so what are you have to recognize what are the x values we need to get. Here x should be greater than or equals to 2 and less than or equals to 5. So what are the possible x values? Yes, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 4. So in here, if you want, you can do is you can add this value. Can you see the board? Okay. Yeah, some brightness. I don't know because there are some lights here, I think. I don't know how to. Okay. So we need to pick this probability 0.3 plus 0.25 and 0.15, and the last one is 0.02. You have to add them all, last four probability values. Okay. So add last four, or you can do the other way, like you can do the complementary thing. That means you can do 1 minus, you can subtract only first two values. Same thing, if you want, you can add just the last four probability values. So, or you can do is 1 minus subtract first two probability values. It's easy. That's why I'm doing that. So the answer is 0.72. The last one, probability of x values greater than 1, less than or equals to 3. Okay, here greater than 1, here we don't have equal mark, but this side we have equal mark. Okay, then what are the possible x values? Yeah, 2 and 3. Okay, in here we can just pick those two probability values. The probability of x is equals to 2 is this point, is this 0.3 plus next one, the probability is 0.25. So the answer is 0.55. Yes. Okay. Got it? Yes. Okay. Now next one. Now it's all about finding probabilities. Now you know, if you have probability distribution, you know how to find these values. Very simple. You have very simple calculation, but if you have like the first, like here you have to always you have to add some values, but sometimes I can ask what is the probability of x is equals to 1. Just write 0.15. It's very easy. Okay, when I put my finger, it will, can you see? Now can you see the board? No, it's unclear. Can you see? Yes, Elizabeth. No. Yeah. Okay. Okay, then next one. What is this? It's about unusual results. Unusual results. Okay. Normally, you know what is usual and unusual. Remember, I told you to find usual and unusual results using mean and variance. If you have any value in between, sorry, there are two boundaries, like the one boundary is mean minus two standard deviations, and other one is mean plus 2 standard deviations. So if you have any value in between those two values, I told you that value will be usual, otherwise unusual. There is another way. This is that one, okay? There is another way to identify unusual results. In here, we are going to use the probability. What is this? This one also I told you in the beginning of the probability, that chapter. Yeah, I told you if you have very small probability, that means if you have any probability value less than or equals to 0.05, we can say that event is an unusual event. Otherwise, it's an usual event. Okay, so this is the second way. I told you it in, I cannot remember the number. Probability. It's in slide number, it's in chapter 4, okay? The slide number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, slide number 11, chapter 4. In there we had some like picture. So I told you if you have any probability value less than or equals to 0.05, we can say that event is an unusual, otherwise usual. So that's it. That is the thing. Then we have another more step. Okay, what is that? Also, we can say if we have any x value or values greater than that x value, then the probability of that part is less than or equals to 0.05. We can say x is unusual, but unusually high. So it's something like this. Okay, if we, this is our line, then here we have x. Okay, this x, suppose this x value. Then if you have any value x and this side, then if we can find the probability of this whole area, like that means x or more, x, probability of x or more. More means x or more x values. Here x can be 5, that means the x value is greater than 5, like 5, 6, 7, 8, up to the last x value. Then if you add those x values, if you add the probability of those x values, then if you have this answer, that means that value is greater than, sorry, less than or equals to 0.05, we can say x is unusually high. Okay, it's unusual, but from it's high, unusually high. The other way is you can have x, then you can have x values less than this one, this value. Then we can say the probability of x or fewer values. Okay, that means x can be 5. That means suppose here x is 5. That means probability of 5 or fewer. So if you have, if you can find the total probability of that value, and if you can see that probability is less than or equals to 0.05, that means very small probability, then we can say that x value is unusually low. So it's because it's to the left, here it's right. Okay, so same meaning, like if you see 0.0, if you see any probability value less than 0.05, it's unusual, but there is a direction. If you have the right direction, you can add this word high. If it's to the left side, then you can add this word low. Okay, so unusually high and unusually low. Now we have another example. What is this? Okay, in a study of brand name recognition of Sony, group of 4 consumers are interviewed. Okay, so we have groups. In each and every group we have 4 consumers. Then groups of 4 consumers. Then we have the following probability distribution. So we have the probability distribution. Then here what is x? X represents what? The number of people in the group who recognize the brand. Okay, there are, suppose there are a lot of groups. In each and every group we have 4 members. Okay, so we are testing this brand recognition, the name of this brand. Then we can ask how many people in this group know this name. Likewise, we can find. Then we can construct this probability distribution. Here, the meaning of 0 means what? None of the people in that group cannot, they don't know the name of that brand. So what is the probability of that? It's 0.0016. So it's the probability of 0 people knows about the recognition of that brand. That one. Okay, likewise, x can be 0 to 4. Why? Because in each and every group we have 4 members. So it should be none of them or all of them. So 0 to 4. So this is the chart. After collecting data, we can construct this chart. If we know the total, like all if we have all data, then we know the sample size. Then and we know if we know the number of people in each and every number of values in each and every x, then we can find these probabilities also. But here you already have this. So this is the table. Now we have the question. What is this? Is it unusual? So in here you have to check that one. Okay. Now you know what is unusual and usual. So you have to check, is it unusual to randomly select 4 consumers and find that only one of them recognizes the brand name. What do you think? Now this is the question. You want to find check whether is it unusual to randomly select 4 consumers and find that only one of them. Only one means this one. What is the meaning of this? X is number of people in the group who recognize the brand. So one means one member in the group can recognize the brand. So this is the probability. The probability of getting that value is 0.04, like 407, but it's 0.4. So is it less than 0.05? Yes. So it's small probability value. So is it unusual? Yes. So the answer is it unusual? Yes. Why? Because the probability of x is equals to 1. If you want, you can write the value. Okay, I will write it. 0.0447 is less than 0.05. Yes, it should be less than or equal, but here I will not write equal mark because it's already less than. So yes, because it's this. Very simple. So if you see any probability value less than or equal 0.05, that means that event is unusual. Okay. Okay, then next one, new section. Yeah, new one. What is this? The parameters of a probability distribution. Now I will tell you the parameters. What are the parameters? And we can use these parameters to find the value. These formulas to find these parameters. Okay. So parameter means what? Remember I told you if it's P, then if it's parameter, it's related to population. Okay, so if you see parameters, that means it represents your population. So in here, we don't have x bar and s squared. We have the parameters, population parameters. So the population mean, not sample. Population mean is mu. Population's variance is sigma squared. Population standard deviation is sigma. Very important 3 formulas. Okay, according to this timeline, this situation you don't need to remember. Why? Because you have everything with you. So if you have exam, quiz, anything, you have this slide with you. Very important slide. Okay, slide number 13. So I will tell you how to read because somewhat complicated, not that much, but you know already how to read these things. Like if you see this symbol, sum, add them all. Remember I told you if you see this, that means add them all. What you have to add? You have to add these values. What is that value? X times px. X means just the x value. You have to multiply that with what? The probability of getting that x value. So you have x value and the probability like this. Here you have x value as 4, then the probability of getting that x value is 0.4096. You have both. If you have probability distribution, you definitely you have these two. Then you can multiply these two values, then you can get this value. But it is only for that x value. Likewise, you have to find these values for all x values, because in here you have 5 x values. So you have 5 x times px values, then add them all. It is your answer, mean. Likewise, next one. It's somewhat difficult, so not difficult, but we have examples. I explain using examples. Here also, you need to create this column. Here you have the column name. You have to create x squared times px column, then add them all, then you get the first part, then subtract your mean square, the square of your mean. That means if you want to find variance, definitely you have to find your mean. Can you see? Without knowing mean, how you cannot find variance, okay? So sometimes you can have like only one question, find the variance, but you have to know you have to find the mean definitely, otherwise you cannot find the variance. If you know variance, then you can find standard deviation. I told you there is a relationship between standard deviation and variance. Variance is the square of the standard deviation. Standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So if you have variance as 4, what is the standard deviation? 2. If you have standard deviation as 3, what is the variance? 9. So that's the relationship, very simple. So in here, if you have to find 3 of them, just find only 2. Only 2 means definitely mean and 1 of variance or standard deviation. Then using the relationship, you can find the other one. Okay, there is rounding rule. Okay, how can we round this? Please remember, leave one more decimal place in your answer than the number of decimal places used for the random variable x. So that is the condition. Okay, so you have values in your x, okay, random variable. X can be 0 to 4, any value. But here it can be decimal values also, but if you have integers only, if you have only integers as your x values, then you have to write your mean, variance and standard deviation with one decimal place. If you have x values with one decimal place, you have to leave your answers mean, variance, standard deviations with 2 decimal places. Always leave one more decimal than the original values in your random variable x. Okay. Okay. We have the first example. We need the formulas. Okay. So what is this? Find the mean number of dots that appear when a six-sided die is tossed. Then variance and standard deviation. So these are the basic 3 questions you can see. Okay. Then the thing is, we don't have table, the probability distribution. So you need the table, but you know how to construct the probability distribution. Sometimes you can construct. In here we can do, because we know this example. It's very simple one. If we have a 6-sided die, then I will construct it. Okay. First tell me, we have a die and it's 6-sided die. So what are the possible values we can write in x? 1 to 6. Those are the possible outcomes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then next column, definitely it should be this probability of getting those each and x values. So what is the probability of getting 1 if you roll a die? If it's a fair one, if you roll a die, what is the probability of getting number 1? Once. Yeah. So same probability, because it's fair die. So same probability. 1 over 6. If you add them all, you can see it's 1. It should be. So this is the probability distribution. Okay, now if you want to find the mean, first write down the formula. Okay, I will write it here. Okay, I will write it again. Probability. Sorry. How to find mean? It's summation of x times px. Okay, so this is the formula. To get the mean, we need these values because we have to add them all. X times px. So I will create that column here. x times p x column. Okay, so x times px, the first x value is 1 times px is 1 over 6. So 1 times this value, it's this. Then second x value is 2 times px. So it's 2 over 6. Third one, x times px means 3 times 1 over 6. Can you see? I will just write the answers. Here 6 multiplied by 1 over 6. So it's 6 over 6. It's 1, okay? If you want, you can write 1, but I will not write. This is my way. Because if it's this way, then I can easily get the final answer. Why? Because denominator is same, it's 6. So to get the answer, what is the mean? You have to add them all. Add them all means what? You have to add all, because we have the square brackets. You have to add all x times px. That means you have to add these values. So what is the answer? Yeah, 21 over 6. So this is the answer. So I will write it here, 21 over 6. Then here we have integer values. So write up to 1 decimal point. 3.5. If you want, you can write this way, but don't. If you have something like, don't write this. If it's a probability, it's totally okay. Like 3 over 100, 3 over, it's okay. But if it's something like this, at least write this way, like this. Then we can like understand. But it's this. If it's this way, here it's okay. But if you have very big value like 1000 divided by 23, so we cannot get the idea about the final value. So write like in a fraction way, or write up to 1 decimal. Why? Here we have integers. That's why we write this way. Okay. So I think this is the best way. 3.5. So what is this? It's mean. Remember, mean is just a average. So it can be any value. Mean can be negative value also, okay, but here it's not. But next time we have another part in there, we can definitely, we will get negative mean values. So mean means no restrictions. It can be 0, positive, any positive value, any negative value, no limitations, okay. It's just mean. Okay, if it's probability, then you have to think it's always in between 0 and 1, or it can be 0 or it can be 1. But here you can have any value. Now next one, compute the variance. The formula for the variance is this, okay. Summation of x squared times px. So that if you see it's like square brackets, this part is 1, okay, because summation for this part. Then finally subtract mean squared, okay. To get this one, we have to construct this column, this row here, the next row, x squared times px. Why we are going to write this row name? Because we need to get that value, the addition of that value. You have to add them all. So x squared times px is here 1 squared times px. It's 1 over 6. So the answer is this. So x squared. Second x value is 2. So 2 squared is 4. 4 times 1 over 6. Next value 9 over 6. 16 over 6. Because x squared times px. Okay, if you see x squared, pick x and square. Px means second row, the name of the second row. So multiply by probability of that value. 25 over 6. 36 over 6. Okay, now here you have to add them all. So add them all. So what is the value? 91 over 6. Okay, 91 over 6. So here the value for the first part is 91 over 6. minus, now what is our mu? It's, if you want, you can write this way, or you can write 3.5 squared. Here you it's okay, but if you have like, if you round here, then don't use the rounded one, okay? It's wrong. Then definitely take the full answer, but here you can take either this, this, or this. All are same, so I just write this way. Now you have calculator, so you can get the final answer, okay? Do all the calculations in one line, otherwise you will get different answers, because we need one final answer, okay? In statistics, we need the exact answer up to any decimal place. That's the thing. So what is the answer? Up to one decimal. Why? Because we don't have decimal places in our x. Can anyone tell me? Then it will be good. Try. Tell me the answer. Yeah, what is the final answer? Can it be? Here it's something like yeah, you are telling about only this part. No, only this part is like 15 or point something, I think. So minus here 3.5 squared means definitely like 12 points. So I think the answer will be like very small value, not very small. Okay, check again. Yeah, 2.9. Okay, 2.9. Okay, maybe there is a mistake. So it's 2.9. Okay, right up to one decimal place. Okay. Now in next one, standard deviation, just take the square root. Don't do it, don't use the final answer, okay? It's wrong, because here we rounded. So you have to pick this line, because the standard deviation means the square root of the previous formula, variance formula. So just pick this whole answer, okay? Then take the square root. What is the answer? So when you are doing this calculation, first time if you have variance, then don't erase anything from calculator before going to next one. You can round the variance, but at that same time take the square root and write it separately, because you need it next time. Otherwise you have to type everything. So what is the answer? 1.7? Yes. So that is the final answer. Okay. So that is the way when we are doing some calculation. If you are using calculator, then first if you got the variance, then same time without rounding, first take the standard deviation also, then write it separately. Then you round both values, round up to one decimal, because here we have integers. Okay, so can you see it's very simple? If you have probability distribution, it's very easy. Otherwise, you have to construct the probability distribution. Probability distribution means only first two rows, okay? You have to create other rows to find these values, but if you have first two rows, it will be easy. But here you have to construct everything. Then we just use the formulas to find mean, variance, and standard deviation. Now another example, same thing. We are going to repeat the same process, okay? Now the only thing we have here, the good thing is we have the distribution, so it's good. So you can extend the table. Why? You have to find same things, okay? Mean, variance, standard deviation. What is the question? Actually, you don't need to read, because we need the answers, but it's good to read. The number of students using the MATLAB per day. is found in the distribution below. So this is the distribution. So you have to find mean, variance, standard deviation for this probability distribution. So to get the first one, mean, what is that? First write the formula, then why we have to write it first? Because of that formula, you can use that one to write down the row name. Because of this formula, I write the row name. So it's easy. X times Px. So you have to fill that row. Ah, I don't have. I don't have my calculator. So, can anyone tell me the answers that I can fill? I think it's 0.9. I can do. Yeah, I can. Ah, is this correct? Next one. Yeah. Next one. Thank you. Next one. Last one. Thank you. Okay, now if you want to find mean, add them all. Add them all. It's 9.4. So the answer is 9.4. Very simple. Okay, now next column. Sorry, the next part is variance. To find variance, we need another row. But what is the formula? This part, separate, okay? Separate part. You have to do it separately. Then finally subtract mu squared. So we need that row also. X squared times px. Too difficult. You know, if you have calculator, you can fill. But I don't have separate answers. I have only final answer. Can anyone tell me? Then I can write. Can you tell me? 5.4. Huh? Yeah, 19. It's okay, 19.3. Next one. 35. Yeah, it should be. Next one, 24 point. Sorry. 14.4. Last one, 19.6. Okay, so, okay. Add them all. What is the value? It's 93.6. Okay, so we need that value minus, we have the mean, take the square. So what is the final answer? 5.2. Check. Tell me, is this correct or not? I don't know. We'll see. I think it's correct. 5.2. Yes, thank you. Then the last one. Don't take the last final answer. Take the before one, the before line. Take the square root. I think it's, check what is the answer. Yes, thank you. 2.3. It's correct. Okay. So it is this. So if you have probability distribution, you definitely have to construct these two rows. Then you can find mean and variance very easily. So standard deviation is the square root of your variance, but don't use the final answer because we round here. So use the next line, previous line. Okay. Then Athena. Okay. Yes. Next one. Can you see another way? Actually, this is the one we did in the previous chapter. I cannot remember what is the chapter name. So if you want to identify some unusual result, again, we have this. Yeah. range rule of thumb to identify the unusual values. It's recall. Why? Because I told you if you want to find the if you want to find the boundary values, that means minimal usual and maximal usual. These are those boundary points. If you want to find minimal usual values, it is mu minus 2 sigma. Here we don't have x bar and s. Here we have parameters, mu minus 2 sigma. Here mu plus 2 sigma. So here definitely if it's here, then other one will be in this end. So if you have any value in between these two usual values, those are usual values. Otherwise, it's unusual. Okay, so this is the second method. So according to this chapter, only according to this chapter, if you have any single probability value, you can tell about that event using the probability. If it's less than or equal to 0.05, we can say it's an unusual event. Also, we can use this range rule of thumb. In here, we cannot use the probability value. Why? Here we have to use the x values. X, it's about like why? Because here we have mu and sigma. So it's not about the probability. Okay, now we are going to use the, if you have probability distribution, we are going to use the first line. But if it's using previous method, you have to use the probabilities. Now we are going to use these x values because it's about x. It's about mu and sigma. So it's about x values. Okay. I think, yeah, we have an example. What is this? Okay, we will do this. A talk radio station has 4 telephone lines. Okay, we have 4 telephone lines. Then if the host is unable to talk or is talking to another person, the other callers are placed on hold. Okay, that is the way. Then if all phone lines are in use, then caller gets a busy signal. Okay, that is the way of doing that process. Then the probability that what? The number of phone lines that can be available is what? 0 to 4. Why? Because we have 4 phone lines. So it can be 0 or up to 4. So the probability that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 people will get through is shown below. Here it's about not phone lines, it's about the people will get, because we have 4 phone lines, so we can have 0 people, 1, 2, 3 up to 4 people. So we have this is the possible x values 0 to 4 because we have 4 phone lines. So we also have the corresponding probability values. What is this? What is the meaning of this px? The probability that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 people will get through, okay, is shown below. First thing, find these 3. So if you have distribution, you don't need anything. So just find the values, mean, variance, standard deviation. So I cannot extend this table further. No space. So I will use this paper and I will do it here. I will not write this. I have to write x, px. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I will not write probability of x values. It's here, okay? So I will just use x times. I will just write that row, okay? Mu is x, summation of x times px. So here what will be the answer? It's 0.18. Complete this second row, okay? Here you have that one. I will not write. I will write just x times px row. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, you are correct. 0 time multiplied by anything, it's 0. Huh? Correct? Okay. Okay. It's okay. Now add them all. It's 1.59. You have to round up. Why? Because here we have integers, so 1.6. But the exact answer is 1.59. So keep it that one also because we need that. Final answer is 1.6. So to find the variance, it's this. So we need that column. I am doing this quickly because you know the method, okay? So just fill. Otherwise, we don't have enough time. I don't know these values. You have to multiply 4 times probability, 9 times probability, 16 times the probability value. So add them all. This one, what is the value? 92. Next one, 89. Next one, 0.64. Yes, it should be. So here the value is this. Thank you. Okay. Otherwise, I cannot do this because I don't have my calculator now. So here it's this minus. Now don't use 1.6. Use the whole answer, previous answer. So now write the final answer. 1.26. 2619. I don't know. But here I think it's 1, 2. It's wrong. I think the final answer will be 1.3. Correct? Got it? Yeah, maybe. You have to check, okay? So you know the method. So the answer, according to my final answer, it's this. So the last, the standard deviation means you have to take the square root of this part. So it will be 1.1. It's 1.1. But here I don't know it's one. I don't why I wrote this, but check, okay? According to your answer, you have to round. But here we have 2.6. That's why I rounded it up to 1.3. Okay, now we have mean, standard deviation and variance. Now, next one is the thing. You have to tell about about this question. Should the radio station consider having more phone lines? To write something, to write the answer, you have to think about usual and unusual thing, okay? That events. So for that, you need to find those boundary values. So mu minus 2 sigma and mu plus 2 sigma. According to that, you can tell about usual and unusual values. What is the answer? Mu is 1 point. Use this value. Here also, I have to write this one because I don't have the. I have only final answer. So the final. Here we have negative value. Here mu plus 2 sigma. If you have all values, then you can get these two boundary values. Okay, so here this is the lower boundary. This is the upper boundary. This is about x values, okay, not probability values. So if you have any value in between these two, those are usual. But in here it asks, do we have to consider about having more phone lines? No, because we already have 4 phone lines. So if we install another one, that should be next line, fifth one. But fifth is already, it's unusual line, unusual value. So we don't need any more lines, okay? According to your mean and variance, the fourth one is also unusual. Can you see? So how can we think about another more line? So don't do that. According to our results, this is enough, okay? This 4 numbers. Got it? Okay, because two boundary values are these two values. Okay, it's now time is so. If you have any question, Costa, got it? Because here mu minus 2 sigma, mu plus 2 sigma, those are the boundary values, minimum and maximum usual values.
What's the value you're trying to?
Because here it asks, do we have to consider about installing more phone lines? We have only 4 phone lines. 4 is also here. 4 is all.
The number of phone lines, so 3.79 is the
Maximum phone line. So we already have 4, so don't need to think about another line. That's why I told you if you have to use this method, you have to think about x. In previous method, it's about probability. Now it's about x values. Okay, you will have your quiz. Okay, today 10. Quiz number 3. Yeah, today.
Need any extra phone lines?
Extra homework.
Extra phone lines. So basically, we already have enough phone lines.
No. The answer is no. We don't need any more phone lines because maximum use. Here I will. Okay, it's good to. You have this line sentence. Okay, it's in the video also. So read that one. Okay, thank you. Have a great day. Yeah.